All right. Well, welcome everybody. It's been a while since we've had an opportunity to do a video. It's been over a year now since we finished our through hike of the Appalachian Trail, August of 21.
21, yeah. We're a little rusty at video, so
Way rusty.
bear with us.
Way
We're going
rusty.
to figure this out, but we have an important announcement to make.
Yeah. So the first thing is that the Codger gang is going to reunite, and the Codgers being No Filters, Rumbles, and a good friend of ours, Mr. Freeze. Now, unfortunately, Mr. Freeze couldn't join us here in Georgia today for us to do our video, but he will be joining us for at least part of the trail. But anyways, our big announcement is that we have decided that we're going to get together and do the Pacific Crest Trail. Should be a drum roll or something.
Yeah, should have been.
Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
So we got a lot to work on. We got a lot of visual effects and sound effects that we're going to have to work on. But anyways, yeah, after sitting around, yeah, we did a few hikes this year.
Yeah,
Nothing big.
We did Triple Crown. We
went
did
back
a
to
little bit
the
of
Virginia Triple Crown.
Bent Mackay last year, I think it was. Or
Yeah,
no, it was
a little bit more sections of the AT and
We did the Pinhoti.
some of the Pinhoti.
last.
But nothing major. So it's been a year since we've done any really serious hiking, and we were sitting around. I'm sure there was some beer or something involved in it where we made this silly decision. But we decided it's time to get back on the trail. We truly did enjoy ourselves last year when we were doing the AT, so we'd like to try to experience that again. But with the understanding and the hope that we'll get a different experience out on the Pacific Crest Trail. So for those who don't know about the Pacific Crest Trail, it runs from the Mexican border down in California, about an hour and a half out of San Diego.
Yeah,
a little
kind of
town
near
called
Campo.
and it'll go up through California, up through the Sierras, up through Tahoe, and then it'll cross into Oregon, and then Oregon through Washington and all the way up to the Canadian border. And it is 2,650 miles. So it'll be about, what's that? About 450 miles more than what we did on the AT. So we'll see. Hopefully, we won't lose any more weight than we lost before, because I don't know if I can afford to lose any more than what I lost on the AT.
Yeah, we lost a lot of weight, but it's a very different trail. There's not as much as way of rocks and roots and everything else, but we're going to be dealing with snow. We'll have a lot of stuff that's above elevation, and there's going to be some fantastic views that we're going to.
Yeah, and it's interesting if you don't know much about the PCT or if you've read about it. There's really, I guess, 3 or 4 sections you can look at. You start out in the desert, which is again where we'll start down on the Mexican border, and right now we're planning to start sometime in early spring. We'll talk a little bit more about that. But anyway, so you'll go through the desert-like atmosphere or environment, and then you'll cross into the Sierras, which is a lot of snow environments.
And a lot above tree line.
A lot above
very
tree
high
line.
alpine.
Right. I think the highest is, well, you have the opportunity to go and do Mount Whitney, which is kind of comes off the PCT, and it's about 14,000.
Yeah, it's over
something.
14,000.
Yeah, I think it's the tallest mountain in the lower 48 states. So, anyways, and then you cross into Oregon, which Oregon, my understanding, gets a little bit closer back to kind of New England states.
Yeah.
And same with Washington and by the time we finish, which will be in the fall time frame, it'll probably start to be getting cold again. So we'll deal a little bit with some of the cold and things that happen in that standpoint. But anyways, it really is, again, a whole different environment than what we're used to in the AT. A lot more open walking, like you said, above tree line. You got to worry a lot more about the sun and the wind, and certainly the snow when you get in the Sierras. In fact, when we get to the Sierras, we'll be looking to have what we call micro spikes, which are the spikes that go on the bottom of your shoes for traction, as well as potentially an ice axe, which will help in case you slip and start sliding down the hill.
Or if you need to kill your buddy, take his food because you didn't bring enough.
We wouldn't do that. Ken, you're safe. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so again, our thought right now is that we're going to start in the early spring time frame. The only caveat with that is that the PCT requires that you get a permit to hike it. So the permit window, we've registered to be able to go out and try to get one, but the window opens, I think, November 15th. And so on November 15th, we'll apply for the dates that we want, and then we'll see whether or not we can make that work. So once we get the dates and all of that stuff gets finalized, we'll probably share a little bit more around the details and timing of when we're going to be out there and so forth. But excited about it. This is good. Looking forward to kind of getting back out on trail life. It's been interesting over the last year, just thinking back to what were some of the good things that we enjoyed about the AT, and one of them was just being out.
Just being out in the woods. We've had so many times over this last year, we'll be hanging out and we'll kind of look at each other and say, "I just need to get back out there." And now we can relate to those people who have gone through some pretty significant psychological changes when they go back into the world, and all of a sudden they go through, withdrawals or
Right.
depression, that they can't figure out what it is. And fortunately, our lives they're full enough with kids and everything else and projects that haven't really experienced that, but we really miss the outdoors. We've always loved it, so getting back out is exciting now. Just knowing it's a little over 4 months away, and we started planning on all the toys or whatever the changes we needed to make. Been thinking about that for a month, so it's exciting to know it's about to happen.
Yeah. So again, once we get the details and understand what our start date is, we'll share with you a little bit about the gear that we're taking. As you can imagine, there's some differences in the gear that we'll take. A lot of it will be similar, but there's a little bit different. Things like probably take an umbrella with me for the desert section just to get a little bit more shade.
Mary Poppins.
Yeah, Mary Poppins. That way also I can jump off the mountain and kind of float down.
Float down.
Yeah. Joe will film that for you. Just make sure you mark the spot where I jumped.
Yeah.
So when they come looking for you, and they'll know a general idea of where
We'll know
that
where
is.
you
Yeah,
landed.
Yeah. So anyways, stay tuned. And again, we're excited about doing this, and we will be posting more videos as we go along.
All right. Happy trails, everybody.
Take
We'll
care.
talk to you again soon.